Hello, disc golfers, and thank you for joining me on the second episode on my new YouTube channel. I am Ted Paul, your host, and this is Whatcom Disc Golf Talk. Alright, if this is the first time you're joining Whatcom Disc Golf Talk, thank you, and also thank you to all the returning viewers. Really appreciate your support. If this is your first time, please go check out the other videos also. Your support is greatly appreciated. So this episode is going to feature Josh Fitz. Josh, myself, and Daniel Varn went out to Shuckson Middle School to do a little bit of field work and an interview with Josh. So we're going to start out learning a little bit more about Josh, and then we're going to go into a little routine that he likes to do the day of a tournament to warm up prior to the round. We're going to hold off on what his putting routine day of his tournament for another episode. We're going to do little bits like this on a regular basis with Josh, so keep an eye out for that coming up on a future episode. Okay, before we get to that, let's talk about giveaway. So, this giveaway, I was inspired by OTB Skins. I really liked what they did this year with kind of letting us see behind the scenes of a more casual, even though if it's for money, round with some of the big pros out there. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, kind of like the Yuli and Germ things that Jomez was doing. The practice rounds. So I decided to reach out to Luke Humphreys. He was the host for a majority, I would say, of the OTB Skins. He's got his dog Hogan. I just really jived with the whole thing, and I wanted to support the pro a little bit more than, say, OTB. They're killing it. I'm sure Luke's doing pretty well too, but I wanted to support him. I like dogs. Hogan's pretty cool as well. So let me grab the discs that I got from Luke himself. Talked to him on Instagram and ordered these up. M3 400 plastic, 178 weight, and this is an FX2 fairway driver, also in 400 plastic, and this one is penned at 172. So, stay tuned to the end of the episode, and I'll tell you how you can enter to win your choice of one of these discs. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the interview and field work with Josh Fitz. Hey everybody, thanks for checking back in with Whatcom Disc Golf Talk. I'm here today with Josh Fitz, local player, pro, aspiring pro for this year, I think.
Yeah.
He's gonna help us out today, do some interviews, learn a little bit about Josh, do some tips and tricks for some field work. We also got Daniel out here helping out. He's behind the camera right now. So I'm just gonna hop back there and we're gonna do some questions about Josh, learn a little bit more about him.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Josh, let's, where are you from first, originally?
Well, I grew up in Snohomish, Washington, about an hour south of Bellingham, and then I moved all over the place. I've lived in Florida and California, but I've lived in Bellingham now for about 7 years, and I am proud to call it home now.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your first disc golf experience.
My first disc golf experience was, it was Easter 2017, and I saw a disc on sale at Fred Meyer. It was an Arobi Epic, and they also had the Arobi Aero, and so I bought those two on sale. And I knew that there was baskets at Cornwall. I knew what they were. I cannot remember where I first saw it or anything, but first time I threw a frisbee was as a kid, but the first time I threw a real disc golf disc was in 2017. And yeah, I fell in love immediately and started playing tournaments the first month I played.
Are you considering the Arobi Epic a real disc golf disc?
Nope. I don't consider it a real
Not
disc.
now, but he didn't know better back then.
Somebody gave me a T-Bird my first day at the course, so.
They said, oh, don't use that.
Exactly. They were like, what is that disc in your hand? As I hand them this like 20 speed disc.
First time I played, not with like my brother-in-law who first introduced me to, but with other friends, half of us were using Ultimate discs. So,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I used to play like Rec Ultimate a lot, and I was loved that.
All right, so your first real disc, you just said was a T-Bird. Kind of tell us that little story maybe about that, your first day on the course.
Yeah, so a local guy saw my disc, like I was saying, and he was like, man, you need to try this one out. And he handed me the T-Bird, and the first time I threw a newbie air hyzer, and then he's like, hey man, you should throw it like level. And the next shot I threw like a 250-foot shot, like first try, and it was like, yeah, everybody was like, oh, so that's what a frisbee is. Like that's what it should do. Yeah.
Do you know who that was? Do you remember?
Yeah, Kurt Burgess. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but man, that guy set me up.
Perfect. So what was your next actual disc that you bought?
Oh yeah, I can't remember where I got it, but I got a rock and a Discraft starter pack, and I lost the rock almost like after a good time. I loved it, of course, and then my Discraft starter set lasted like a week, and then I went out and got a P2, which I still have in my bag right now, and an AVR, and started going from there.
Awesome. So you said within a month you played your first tournament. Tell us about your first tournament.
My first tournament, I wanted to play somewhere, and the first one available, or like whatever, it worked for me, was down in Vancouver, Washington. So I made it a little trip to go visit my mom, who lives in Oregon. So I went down there and also played the tournament, and I played in rec, and it was a good time.
Cool, that's awesome. Yeah, I've never played in a tournament that was rec, I don't think. I did. Yeah,
I think I got like 6th or something. But it was like first month, so I was pretty happy.
Totally stoked. All right, so then just kind of tell us kind of how, just go through the evolution of your game from there, from that first tournament on, and then kind of tie in the local club a little bit, if you could.
Yeah, so I got hooked immediately, and I started playing. I think I played 6 or 7 tournaments in 2017, so I went from never playing a tournament to 6 tournaments in like 3 months. So I was just trying to consume as much as possible. I was watching every forum video on YouTube and stuff. And you know, we all go through plateaus, and then we break those plateaus and get better. And it's just been like a struggle the whole time, but I love it, you know. So
definitely struggle. That's why it's called golf, I think.
Yeah, so my first season I played a couple rec tournaments, moved up to intermediate immediately, and then I went through a season or 2 of advanced, and now I am all the way in open. So.
What was your first Bellingham area tournament?
It would have been my 2nd season for the Cornwall Classic. Like
2018-ish?
Yeah, it must have been 2018. I missed the first one just because I had work or something, or like I just started playing or just heard about it and it was too late or something, so I missed out on that one. But the next year definitely hit up.
Quick fire. Favorite manufacturer?
Well, I like Discmania a lot, but I'm starting to like Discraft a lot too.
Nice, okay. And then what is your favorite disc in your bag right now? Show it to us and tell us a story.
I'm not in love with any of my discs, which is ridiculous, but I really like this MD4 I'm throwing right now. On a long open approach shot, I can like throw this out on hyzer and it'll just like glue itself to the ground next to the basket every time. But out in the woods, probably a Buzz, which is probably my beat up ESP Buzz. I throw this thing a lot. It's starting to get too flippy though. Yeah.
What's your favorite basket to play on?
Oh, I like the just classic disc catchers from Innova. They catch, I think, the most putts. They're the most forgiving, at least.
What's your favorite Whatcom County course?
I really like Blaine in the shorts. I never go out there because it's kind of a trek, but I gotta say Mossy Rock though, just by the number of times that I've played it versus all the other ones.
What's your favorite course in all of Washington?
In all of Washington, Steely pops into my head immediately, but I gotta say SeaTac, just because it's really like the bar that is set in Washington is like how you shoot at SeaTac.
What's your favorite course ever you've played?
I got to play La Mirada in
Nice.
California, and it was like right when I started playing too, so that was really special. I actually got my first ace there, and it's just like a really well-groomed course. But a closer favorite course is probably Raptors Knoll in Canada. It's like similar levels of like detail and what's the word? Like it's taken care of.
Yeah, it's manicured.
Manicured. Yeah, it's
manicured.
beautiful.
I haven't actually been there.
Shout out to the BC guys.
Yeah, those guys are killing it up there.
They built like
Too
an
bad.
Eagle Island.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it 18 or?
It's really epic.
Yeah.
I didn't get to get up there before the border shut down. Sucks. All right, let's see. Keep going on. Where you said basket, already said horses. Who's your favorite touring pro?
Oh, I like Simon Lizotte.
Nice,
I'm
that's
a Discmania boy, you know? A Discmaniac.
Are you a Crush Boy wannabe?
I would love to be a crush boy, but I need about 200 or 300 more feet.
And maybe a few years younger.
Yeah, that's true too.
All right, is there any other stories or anything you want to tell or share with the county? That's who our
Stories?
audience is.
I don't know.
All right, let's tell us a little bit about your involvement with team golf and the Heiser Bombs.
Team golf is sweet. I'm missing it right now. I keep getting little pop-ups on my phone of like memories from a year ago, and lately it's been the team golf stuff from last year. So yeah, I'm missing all the really heavy rain. Like last year at North Bend, it was the rainiest I've ever seen in a disc golf round at
Big,
least.
wet snow there, and
it was cold and wet.
Yeah. Wind coming right off the snow.
What's the one in Monroe?
At Tall Firs.
Tall Firs, we had that wet,
Firs was
nasty
bad.
snow too.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
but
both
I
those.
was wearing, at that course, I was wearing the big old rubber boots
Right.
and game changer.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like North Bend, we all fucking forgot what we were doing. Like everybody showed up basically in t-shirts and pants. Like nobody had extra
Yeah.
I was
clothes,
prepared. I didn't have dry socks yet, or waterproof socks,
if
which
it
is a
wasn't
game changer
for-
for me now. But yeah.
Shout out to the Arlington Eagles and their propane heaters, dude. That's the only reason I was able to
Yeah,
bump
we
the second round.
stole some heat off some heaters that day.
All right, so I'd say from here we'll call that a good wrap for now for the interview.
Wrap.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, no problem.
Now let's just do a little bit of field work. We're gonna warm up. I haven't thrown, so I'm gonna warm up a little bit, and then Josh will run us through some drills. All right, we're here back, Whatcom Disc Golf Talk. We're here at Shuckson Middle School in Bellingham, and Josh is gonna walk me through what he does to warm up for a tournament day of. We just got there, maybe we're an hour early or something. We're gonna get our arms warmed up. We're gonna set aside putting. But all right, Josh is my coach in this situation.
Yeah. Day of the tournament, I like to get there about an hour to 45 minutes early to get ready for the tournament, and that includes a little bit of stretching and field work and putting. And those are the three things I do when I get to a tournament round day. So the first thing we do is a little stretching just to get the blood flowing and stuff. And I like to use a towel. And I don't do anything like organized or anything. I just am making sure that all my joints are loose by warming up with a towel. I'll do some leg stretches and stuff. And then you can also use the towel as a tool to get your form going. So you can just run through your form with a towel and get a little whip and snap on it. It's a good way to provide resistance so you're not hurting yourself. So yeah.
What kind of leg stretches?
I will generally just get a little warm up by stretching the quads out and stuff, doing both sides. I don't do anything too necessarily
Specific or spectacular?
Yeah, I'm not counting to 30
he's not
or
disc golf
anything.
strong yet.
Yeah, I'm not strong. I'm weak. So
Disc golf just don't pull anything. He's also young, so he doesn't really have to do as much as I do.
Yeah.
Josh, what about night before a tournament?
Night before tournament, well, I'm trying to hydrate and make sure I get a decent meal in. I can't just like eat a bunch of ramen beforehand because I'll crash the next day. And then I attempt to go to bed early, but you know how that goes. Tournament day is really fun, so I get anxious and nervous for it.
Stare at your back for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
if your disc
that's part of the ritual too. I think that's one of the most enjoyable things about tournaments is just the rituals we go through, like setting up my bag, making sure it's all there, going through the tournament course that I'm gonna play in my head and knowing exactly what I'm gonna throw off each hole, and making sure that's in my bag because I never want to go up to the hole and be like, where's my disc? So
what do you
it's part of the process for sure.
do you still attempt visualization on a blind course?
Well, you know, it's if I can, I'll look it up on YouTube and try to find coverage of it, and that way I'm not going in completely blind. That was one of the first things that I did because every course I played in a tournament was blind pretty much.
Oh.
So I have a lot of experience with that actually. So it's nice that Tall Furs had coverage and stuff so I could go out there and see all the shots beforehand and kind of get an idea. And it was really nice when they would talk about the discs or like have it up on the screen because then I can really just figure out exactly what I need.
My first round blind is always better than my second round the same day.
Why does that always happen?
I don't know, dude. I think it's just because I
Like
play
Church
like
Creek,
super.
right?
I play super conservative blind. You know, it's all hyzers. It's all just stay in the fairway because you don't know it yet. And then the second round, you're like, ooh, I can try to sneak this through there. Or I remember I was like, oh, leopard would have been.
Yeah, it's a little more risky the second round for sure.
You get bold.
Yeah. So after I get all warmed up, I'm gonna go to the field and grab my mids and putters.
What are we working with today, Josh?
Well, I set up my bag just like I would for a tournament round, except I put a bunch more straight mids, which are buzzes today. So I have all those buzzes, and then my two approach putters that are very straight.
What kind of weights and plastics are you working in for those buzzes?
I got two ESP buzzes, and then a Z Glow and a Big Z. And then I have my MD4 and a P2 and an AVR.
Nice.
So I'll go out to a field and take my flippiest discs first and a towel because it's wet today.
What are you working with, Ted?
So mid-ranges, I've got an old first run Puma, little flippy disc.
Nice.
Glow Rock Gator. This is a brand new disc I got for Christmas. Haven't thrown it. It's an MD3. And then my throwing putters, got an overstable PA1 from Jacob Barrera. My wife got me this awesome Judge that I really actually do pretty well with. And then I have an understable wedge that kind of comes in and out of the bag. Weejay.
Alright, so to continue the tournament day warm-up, I'm going to take my straight approach discs and stuff, and I'm going to pick a point out into the field or a target behind the field for something that will give me feedback, and I'll aim for that. So if I miss it, I know where I'm missing it, and then I'll adjust from there. So we'll start it off with the straight disc at the basket.
And the basket we are throwing at right now is at 285.
So that didn't have enough hyzer on it, and it was a little far right, so I can adjust that. And I'm just using my discs from my bag to warm up. So that was too much hyzer again, and I can just adjust into where I'm feeling comfortable. Just keep going from there. Try it out.
Flippy first.
Whoa, rolling.
Really throw that farther.
Good stop.
Nice.
Pro basically, plastic, MD3, got a feel on it.
Excellent. So after I'm done with my mids and putters, I'm gonna go get my discs, use that as a little bit more time to just like warm the body up, and then after that I might, depending on time, I'll throw those again, or I'll go into my drivers and make sure that everything's flying okay. I'd like to throw everything in my bag at least once. So.
Good question for you. Do you ever bring extra of the same mid just for this, and then just pull them back out of the bag?
That's exactly what I did today. And for tournaments, sometimes, yeah, I'll have exact copies of discs just in case, like, I really need one disc for a shot. So, yeah.
All right, let's go grab them. Cool.
All right, so next, after we're done with the mids and approaches, I grab my drivers, everything from like 6 and 7 speeds all the way up to my distance drivers, and then I'll throw those from flippy to overstable, and I'll do the same thing where I pick a target and throw to the target, and then it will give me feedback on where my miss is that day.
Let's go ahead and see what we're working with the driver.
Yeah, so today I have a mixed bag of a Leopard 3 Plasma Volt from MVP, and then I thought this was a different disc this morning when I put it in, but it's a tie-dye Leopard 3, that's fine. And then I have 2 DD3s, which are Destroyer clones, and then a Pro Destroyer that's flippy.
It's curious to me that every other disc gets compared to a Nova. Oh, it flies like a Firebird. Oh, it's like a T-Bird.
They're the biggest, and they were the,
most common too.
Yeah.
But we'll call it the
Discraft's coming right there too.
Bar.
Well, they're also the ones that came up with the flight ratings.
What are you? What are you?
So
then?
going from flippier,
Get that Leopard
I got
3 though.
2 Leopard 3s. This is a barely thrown glow that I'm just trying to beat in a little bit. A glow T-Bird, light Star Eagle, really overstable Glow Eagle, a couple of Star Roadrunners, a Fundy, and a Firebird.
Cool.
I'm leaving my distance drivers in because I just
All right, let's throw some Leopard 3s. It's too much hyzer today.
It is a little chilly.
Wait, is this the one that I whacked on the tree? I don't know.
I'm sure all your discs are ones you've whacked on a tree.
Well, I'm talking about 8. Remember when I went back to the road?
That was fantastic. You want to give Finn a try?
that. Oh.
Yeah, it has a good feel to it.
Yeah.
It's that nice, like, soft champ.
I didn't think it would come back. All right. Cool.
The worst part of field work, bending over.
Okay, I want to thank Josh for coming out and doing that interview and field work with Daniel and myself. Shout out to Daniel too, thanks for helping out. Josh is going to help us with little tips like this that we'll throw on episodes here and there, little short tidbits of little things you can do to help work on your game as well. So keep an eye out for that, future episodes, for more tips and tricks from Josh Fitz. All right, time for the free local plug of the week for a business in Whatcom County that supports disc golf. This week we're going to talk about Kulshan Brewing. Pretty much everybody within Bellingham, Whatcom County probably is familiar with Kulshan Brewing. They've been a big supporter of disc golf, whether it be prizes, supporting us by hosting the putting league last year, the 2019-2020 season. So go grab a growler, grab a 6-pack, a 22 ounce, or whatever you do, and support Kulshan Brewing because they've supported disc golf in Whatcom County. All right, let's get back to the giveaway. That's what everybody really cares about. Like I said, we've got these two yellow 400 plastic Prodigy discs from Luke Humphreys and Hogan the dog. We got an M3 178 gram in the 400 plastic, and we've got an FX2 172 gram in the 400 plastic. All you got to do to win one of these discs is go over to Instagram and follow Whatcom Disc Golf Talk. Real simple, at Whatcom Disc Golf Talk. Give us a follow. Then you need to go find the post for this exact video, episode 2 with Josh Fitz. And you need to comment, I want to know what your go-to big distance driver is in your bag. Leave that information. Then on February 24th, I will announce random winner on Instagram. So make sure you check out, follow us, and find out if you win. Thanks again for watching Whatcom Disc Golf Talk. As always, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to be notified next time there's a video out. We'll see you next time on Whatcom Disc Golf Talk. Oh, yeah!